Now you're up.
Well, thank you. Thank you, and thank you, Lake Chapala Society, for the opportunity to be here again. It's always an enjoyable experience with you. Today, if you're somebody listening who is not considered old by American standards anyway, you might be fortunate to be here because it may give you a glimpse into a possible future for you. Please be aware that everything I offer today is influenced by more than 20 years of daily conversations with my source in meditation, whom I call life. Transforming experiences began in my early 70s and have since expanded into 4 transformational books on your handout and 11 public talks in Ajijic. So you can find more out about this and what's in the books and by looking at reading the books to see the meditative consultations and conversations I've had over the years. If at the end of today's talk, you're left with questions and few answers, I offer you a complimentary hour of consultation in my office. Please sign on the sheets at the end of the talk, and I will contact you. Now, let's review. Let's review how individual aspirations, aims, that you have experienced earlier in your life may have been a signal to advance your personal development with a stronger sense of what? Purpose. And to complete what seemed to be missing. This morning, please notice how human aspirations, at least in the United States, evolve in a patterned manner throughout the stages of our lives. And this also may be worldwide, but I'm more acquainted with America. So they're influenced largely by an individual's sense of purpose, perspective, and choice, and circumstances, as well as cultural values and societal expectations. But I ask you to appreciate how our driving aspirations in life are realized only if we retain our ability to choose real choice. Any reduction in our motivation or our freedom to choose changes the perspective that I offer you this morning. Only a limited amount can materialize without your freedom, along with your motivation, to choose. You know, on earth, we live with experience. This gives us a way to practice choice. The very existence of an experience presses us to perceive it and interpret it. And then we must fit it into the context of our daily life. When experiences are perceived as out there, we must decide how it influences in here. Since no two people will have the same life context or the same motivations, the unique way that each of us perceives and interprets our experience remains very individual. Yet the two worlds we experience, in here and out there, are accessible to us through what? The priceless bridge of our individual awareness. In my early 70s, I woke up to a greater self-awareness. Life, what I call my source in meditation and my creator, captured my awareness through the joy of inspiration and passion that I experienced at the time. It became clear that paying attention to my state of awareness could be a key to accomplishment on many levels in life. And for all practical purposes, our self-awareness is the place where our choice and the passion of our intent becomes most evident. And then waking up occurs. So, beginning with the rebirth in my early 70s, I came to appreciate the priceless gift of choice that we all enjoy. Hopefully, you realize its great value as well. Just consider that even our higher power, our creator, our parent who gave us this great gift, cannot and will not interfere with our choices without a specific request from us. So we exercise autonomy. But if we permit a loss of choice, we weaken the passion of our intent and our will to act. Be aware that at this very time, there are influential humans on earth who can and would intentionally restrict your ability to choose. And that's a major concern of mine this morning. Abandoning choice can be dangerous to our health and welfare. Less choice means more powerlessness and more helplessness. Is that what we want? Well, for me, the better way is to structure my daily life through conscious decisions, choice. So join me and protect your endowment, the ability to choose. During meditation, in spite of my great dismay about current human realities on earth, I've been strongly reassured to be encouraged. I understand that all existing distortions on earth must be exposed before necessary planetary transformation can occur. So things may seem to be getting worse for a while. But I'm also told in meditation by life that the transformation of Earth's energy, which surrounds us like a sea, has already begun. This means individual conscious choice to connect with our higher power can now become a new normal, replacing the more common habitual responding or even sleepwalking of the past. In this new way, everyone on earth can become truly awake. Everyone? Wow. Just imagine what that could mean. Sleepwalking will no longer be the case for those who proceed with our Creator's plan. To unite and move individual human evolution along at a much faster rate than karma and chance, which was offered over eons. Yes, karma is being replaced with potential healing of our beings current within our lifetime. Life invites everyone to unite with them and become whole during their lifetime. By accepting their offer, all can reach wholeness. Just think what that implies. That means every human on earth could consciously unify with their Creator and experience personal transformation of their consciousness during their lifetime. When something is ordained by the Creator, there's a good chance that it will happen. So, more universal conscious awareness and perspective with the human race can now become a new normal. Imagine living among transforming human beings. Think that would make a difference?
Yeah.
When this materializes, watch Earth and its universe become a very different place. Now for today. Let's return to a focus on the driving forces of our development that we call typical human aspirations as experienced commonly, at least in the United States. Take a moment to recognize that one driving force of our aspirations may be some important person from your early life. They may have had a subtle but major influence over the years on your choices, yearnings, and aspirations. For myself, from earliest days, my father had what seemed like a favorite directive focused on me as an only child. Make yourself useful. I heard this regularly enough that his directive became ingrained in my perspective as an important life aspiration. And looking back, I'm amazed to report how his directive had a different but similar effect within every period of my life. Every period. So, think with me as we briefly review typical human developmental patterns of aspirations, yearnings, and aims. This will help you write your epilogue. What epilogue? Well, I think of my life as a large book consisting of 3 parts: a prologue, a main story, and an epilogue. The prologue introduces events leading up to the main story. An epilogue reveals the fate of the characters acting within the main story. Today, let's briefly see what main life story you carry with you. Try to remember what you felt free enough to choose at each stage of your life, and reflect on what was your focus and your intent at that time. Follow me using your handout as a guide. Childhood, birth to 12. Yearning love. Did you seek to be cared for with a sense of security and love from your family? Learning and play. Did you aspire to explore, play, and learn? Recognition and encouragement. Did you seek validation and encouragement from your parents, teachers, or other adults. Adolescence, 13 to 19. Identity formation. Did you aspire to form your own unique identity and gain a sense of independence? Social peer acceptance. Did you aspire to be socially acceptable and develop peer friendships? Academic and extracurricular achievement. Did you aim to excel in some aspect of school or extracurricular activities? Future planning. Did you explore possibilities for further education and future careers? Young adulthood, 20 to 40. Personal development. Did you aspire to start or continue formal learning and develop new skills? Career establishment. Did you aspire to establish a career and achieve professional success? Relationships in a family. Did you aspire to form a meaningful relationship and start a family? Financial independence. Did you aspire to achieve financial stability and independence? Middle adulthood, 40 to 65. Career advancement. Did you aspire to continue career expansion while reaching for leadership positions? Family and parenting. Did you aspire to encourage your children and other young people supporting their development and aspirations? Community contribution. Did you aspire to give back to your community and engage in meaningful societal contributions? Health and well-being. Did you aspire to maintain or improve your health by achieving an improved work-life balance while taking more personal care? Later adulthood, 65 and on. Retirement with purpose. Do you aspire to resilient, inspiring, and fulfilling retirement full of purpose and meaning? Independence and autonomy. Do you aspire to plan living arrangements, safety, financial security that ensures your independence as estate planning becomes significant along with end-of-life legal decisions? Health and quality of life. Do you aspire to physical and mental well-being, safety and security, as well as support for loss and changes, challenges of aging? Do you aspire to maintain an active cognitive, physical, and spiritual lifestyle? Legacy and mentorship. Do you consider the mentoring of younger generations as significant? Do you inspire to leave a legacy? Social connections. Do you aspire to sustain relationships with family and friends while engaging in a community social service activity? Well, across all stages of life, certain aspirations seem to remain constant and be universal. 4 of them. First, personal evolution is at the top of the list for many. Aspiring to your own physical and spiritual growth and development. Purpose and meaning. Aspiring to the discovery or expansion of a unique sense of purpose and meaning to your life. Well-being and fulfillment, aspiring to the pursuit of personal well-being and safety with a sense of fulfillment. Love and relationships, aspiring to further develop your meaningful relationships. Well, human aspirations are dynamic and influenced by a multitude of factors, including personal choice. While the specifics may change with age and life circumstances, the core desires for personal evolution, purpose, well-being, and love seem to remain enduring constants throughout life. Can you see how these aspirations define the trail that you blazed in life to get here? Our style of life, that is our unique way of dealing with life, or to avoid dealing with life, becomes very well established after 70 years of practicing. Our characteristic style becomes automatic. But what we worked hard to make automatic may now be less appropriate. We have now a new opportunity to reorganize and probably simplify our style of living. My own concept of what is important has relaxed and changed in many ways. Things now take on different meanings than they did. Time changes pace, going from more busyness to now what? I can eliminate the clutter now that served to distract me earlier by aligning with more simplicity. My prior life structure has melted away and changed. Our independence later in life can be threatened by a history of inadequate self-care. We focused on some things and avoided others. There's plenty of time now to think about what we've avoided and to do something different. Later is here. As I've aged, even my capabilities seem to be used quite differently than before. A subtle shift of focus has exposed a new practical quality in the use of my expertise and skills. Consider for yourself. Have you become less the driver and more the passenger? Less hurried with more waiting. Fewer demands with more personal choice and intent. Talking less, but thinking more. Looking less, but observing more. Hearing less, but knowing more. Less certainty with more creativity. Less sensing with more emotional feeling. Less physical stuff with more meaning. less self-promoting, and more legacy. Less permanence, with more transiency. More simplicity that helps with more complications. So my life has become more newly structured with less demand. I noticed a new sense of security arise when the importance of spiritual connection came forward during meditation, presenting opportunity for healing and personal transformation. So, writing your epilogue will reveal how well your aspirations have been satisfied. You can then answer to yourself about how your life counts for something beyond the obvious. Have you started your epilogue? Does it include a legacy of some kind? When writing your epilogue, you may have an interest in what is called a legacy, something that's passed on. A legacy can take many forms. They come from an unusual achievement by you, having long-lasting impact. She broke the glass ceiling so that now young girls can follow their own individual aspirations. Or, a legacy may come from one's spiritual faith, ethics, core values. His writings present ways of living that exemplify the finest human values. Or, a legacy can be monetary or physical assets. Grandmother left us each a small inheritance, along with some of my favorite antique furniture. Or, a legacy may come from one's character or reputation, setting an example for others and intended to guide future generations. The nonviolent resistance that Mahatma Gandhi demonstrated stands as a powerful human example for all to follow. Be aware that writing your epilogue may require an alert review of your life experiences, using an active awareness. Active awareness. Consider that your epilogue may not come into being if you spend much time in conscious neutral. Conscious neutral happens when we choose to go blank. Consciously canceling intent and purpose. Conscious neutral is letting our awareness become directed by our unconscious mind. Sleepwalking could be an extreme example of going into conscious neutral. At night, we go into intentional conscious neutral to recover energy in a dream. That's understandable, though chronic fatigue is a problem to be solved. But when we pray or meditate, we open to all possibilities with an active expectation, much different than going into conscious neutral. So to say, I will take care of that later, when there's no intention to do so, means you may be heading into conscious neutral. It may also help to know that Bad experiences leave a stronger impression on our memory than good experiences. So negative experiences arise faster from the subconscious than positive experiences. This means that when we go into conscious neutral, our unconscious is more likely to overwhelm our conscious mind with outdated melodies, worries, and fears. But when conscious awareness runs the show, our melodies can have all possibilities. So observe the music being played in your life. If you value your choice, enliven your intent and your will, and you can choose your favorite melodies. Well, today at 93, I share with you my excitement about the next phase of my epilogue. The potential exists for it to be the most creative and inspiring period I've yet experienced. This is all thanks to a major personal change during my early 70s, when my perspective was transformed during meditation. I opened up, my awareness expanded, and I experienced a conscious energy connection with my Creator, whom I call life. Following this rebirth were 15 inspiring years of daily conversations and meditation, which I recorded. And from these thousands of writings came 4 books published in my late 80s. See your handout. This later life experience exposed the essential role that personal choice had played in my awareness and personal evolution, which was major. So, write your epilogue. Later is here. Be sure to sign up for the complimentary consultation hour. And I thank you for your attendance and your attention. Blessings to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We do have some minutes for questions for Dr. Kelly, Dr. Bennett. So raise your hand and wait for the mic. And we have one here. Hold on. Back here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your work and for your example, the example of your life.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a little hard to hear it, so.
Thank you very much for your work and for the example of your life. My question has to do with, seems like there are 2 major parts of your presentation.
Okay, tell it to me, I'll
have to do with karma and free will or choice. And it seems to me that not everyone has the same degree of free will or choice. And I look around, for instance, at the culture where we are, and it seems very clear that some of us are very privileged compared to others in terms of the choices and the free will. And I'm wondering what role karma plays in how much free will people have.
Yes.
Did you hear the question okay? Yeah?
I think I got that one.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, karma plays a major role. You know, if you define karma, or try to define karma, then I come up with something like, people deserve to live the kind of life they have created. That's how I understand karma. And that's why everyone's so different. So very different in the amount of free will, you say, that they seem to have, or choice that they seem to have. Because we've created what we have over time, over eons, long time. Does that give you an idea of what you're asking about?
Any more questions? We have one over here. Hold on. Yeah.
So, Erik Erikson, as you know, wrote about the 8 stages of life. No? Oh, Erik Erikson talked about the 8 stages of life, yes? So, do you see you've got 7. Have you still got generativity? And is that really what you were talking about? His last stage was generativity, yes? Is that?
I think it's limited.
Okay.
What Erikson talks about, I think, is limited. Certainly not untrue,
Right.
but it's not enough. And what I've shared with you this morning is what tends to fill in what comes after as far as he goes. And I respect Erikson a lot, but it's limited, in my opinion.
Other questions? Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. You can stand so we can all aim.
Hi. I wonder, how did you stumble or come to meditation in your 70s? What happened?
Say that once again, please.
How did you arrive at meditation in your
How did I arrive at
70s?
meditation?
Yeah, in your 70s. What happened?
Okay, that's a good question. In my 70s, early 70s, I had a strong hunch, I guess. It was a feeling like a direction. God that said, you need to do things differently. And one of the ways you can do them differently that would help you is to learn what meditation is about. Now, for those of you who can remember back, in the early 1970s, what was becoming very popular at the time? Transcendental meditation. Do you remember transcendental meditation? Anyway, it was becoming all over the United States. It was becoming very, very well understood and experienced. So I said, well, I guess that's the way you learn about meditation. So I took a course and started meditating with their style. Well, that was a great way to get me started. The style didn't suit me, so I had to figure out something different that I would do to meditate. But I found meditation to be valuable, so I didn't want to quit. And therefore, over time, talked with people, read things, and tried all kinds of different things to see how it might help. And then, as I say, in my during that period, trying to do those things, I started coming on things that were helping and seeming to work and seeming to help. This is over a period of years. So it wasn't quick. But it was good enough. It kept me going. Good enough to keep me going, doing it, and finding it valuable. And I learned about its relaxation qualities and health qualities and all the rest. And that gave me more incentive to continue. And I found that it was really being helpful to me in subtle ways. wasn't really that obvious, but it was enough to keep me going. And then in my, as I mentioned to you, my probably 25, 30 years ago, then meditation started opening up. And all of a sudden, you can read about it in the books, but all of a sudden, I heard a voice. And prior to that time, I had taken I'd gone to some weekend meditation groups in Australia, where I was living at the time. And that was astounding. I don't know if you've been a part of any groups that do meditation together, but it's really insightful, really so helpful, because you can see, first of all, how people are affected by meditation, and everybody's different, as you know. Everybody's different, but there were some very inspiring things. One was, I have an engineering background. Well, engineers are not that gullible, usually. Usually they'll ask why, or how, or where did that come from, or why is that the way it is? And I did. I started asking all those questions. But as I watched people in the group, it became obvious to me that there was something real and truthful. Truth came into the picture. And I realized there's something meaningful about this. And I also realized that I had an interest in doing what these folks were doing, and that is getting messages, getting information. Well, so that's kind of where that ended for the moment. And then I came back to the United States, and all of a sudden one morning when I was meditating, I heard a voice. I said, what is this? And that's where the conversation began. And you can read about it all in the books. I won't bore you with all the details. But it was a continuation of something I had started earlier and had an intent about and had some motivation to do that continued and then expanded and just blossomed like this, boom. And that's where it is now. I hope that answers what you asked.
Hey, we have another question over here.
Thank you, Dr. Bennett. I want to add to what you just said. We have a meditation center here, the Heart of Awareness Buddhist Community and Practice Center.
I can't hear
Okay,
you.
we have a meditation center here because
meditation
you're
center.
absolutely right. It's a transformational.
Five. Yay. Good. You want to tell where it is?
It's on Guadalupe, Victoria, around the corner from Alex's Pasta. And we have a website, and you can get the different practice opportunities that are there. And they're multiple during the week.
Okay. Thank you.
We're time for one more. Here we go. In your loudest voice possible. Good sound.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kelly, for your beautiful talk. Do you think that geographical places help more than others to go deeper into meditations? For instance, you live in Australia, New Mexico, I believe in Ecuador too, now here. Do you think geography helps? I don't know, the energy or something to connect?
I hope
Did you get the question?
not very clear.
Do you think that travel and geography affects your connection?
Yeah. Oh, yoga is marvelous for many different reasons, many different ways, in the body particularly. There's something that in my conversations they've talked about energy meditation. energy meditation. And what they were referring to, I learned later, had to do with exercising. In other words, let me go back. One of the things that's come out of the meditations is an idea of dual attention. That is, learning how to meditate as you go, not when you sit and wait for an hour, right? So people can meditate all the time, everywhere, whatever they're doing. And that was magical to learn about that. But the energy meditation, I found I could actually meditate without the usual circumstances of sitting somewhere and focusing on meditation, and it became very useful to me. But yoga has a lot of physical movements related to it, which are like this energy meditation. And yoga, in my experience, is very valuable for being able to have dual attention, to meditate while you're doing the energy movements in the body. It's very helpful. So I'd say I'd give yoga a thumbs up in terms of being able to fit in to what my experience has been with these conversations.
Well, Dr. Bennett, thank you very much. That was, thank you once again. Thank you.